Dear viewers, welcome to yet another edition of Your Life, Your Money. I'm going to share some thoughts on retirement planning for you. I've done countless videos on retirement planning. Most of these videos have gained a lot of traction. People have asked me a lot of questions. Sometimes I find it very difficult to answer them in the comment section just because of the sheer volumes. So today I have picked up the 5 commonly questions asked to me on retirement planning, and for the benefit of wider audience, I'm answering them in this video. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I'm Dr. Chandrakant Bhatt, your financial guide for a happy living.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
Question number 1. When should I start my retirement planning? If you are a working person who is asking me that question, and if you have still not started retirement planning, the day to start retirement planning is today. Yes. If you have not started before, today is the time. You could be at 30, 35, 45, 55, whatever could be your age. If you have not started your retirement planning, the day to start that is today. If you have asked this question, being a youngster, you have not still started working, you are studying, you are yet to start your career, then my answer to that is the first day of your career is the day on which you have to start retirement planning. Retirement planning is a long-term game. If you start early in the beginning of your career, you have time of 30-35 years of your life to build your finances. Wealth creation is a process of evolution. Wealth creation happens and it takes time. It does not happen immediately. So the beauty of wealth creation is you put small amounts of money but give it more time for it to grow. It can create a humongous amount of wealth. There are 3 ways you can create wealth. 1, put lots of money. 2, you try to attempt a great rate of return or a high rate of return. 3rd is give more time for it to grow. With these 3 variables, you can create wealth. Now, getting how much return is not under your control. A person's circumstances may not permit him to put a big amount of money to invest. But if you are in the beginning of the career, you can give it time. It does not cost you money. To give more time for your money to grow does not cost money, which is a level playing ground for each and everyone. Wherever you are today in your lifespan, the remaining period you can give it. Some people may say, I'm 45 years old, I've lost 15-20 years of my career period. Okay, you start it now. You might be retiring in 60, so you have got 15 years. You don't need all that money in one day. Remember this. You retire at 60 and you live for 70, 80, 85, 90 years. That means you also have a long term. So you can make best use of your time from now to retirement day, and even post retirement day your monies can still grow. So what's the best day to start your retirement planning? The best day to start your retirement planning is either today, or if you have not started still in your life, the first day of your career. What strategy should I adopt when I build funds for retirement planning? This is the other questions which is frequently asked. The simple answer to this question is you should use wealth building strategies. Wealth building strategy has to be adopted when you build your retirement funds. When I talk about wealth building strategy, it means capital appreciation strategies. So retirement planning is a long-term investment. So therefore, capital appreciation strategy fits very, very well. One variation which might come here is, I do not know at what age you are starting your retirement plan, or what could be the age of the viewer who is watching this video. If you are a youngster, go 100% on capital appreciation strategy. You can, because you have long time, 20, 30, 35 years of time depending on your age. Go 100% towards wealth creation strategy. If you are at a later strategy, 45, 50 years, you need a blended strategy. It requires careful evaluation of your life. I hesitate to give you a clear direction how you can take, because individual circumstances in this stage of life can be slightly different. To give a generic advice here becomes very difficult. It's easy for me to say that you should use a blended strategy which should have a fixed income in its component and wealth creation also in its component. If you are very close to retirement and you are staring at retirement in next 5-6 years, your strategy should take into account serious investments into fixed income, and also should include some capital appreciation strategy. To speak in a very general way, if you are an younger, focus on wealth creation. In the middle of your life, focus on a blended strategy, which is less fixed income or equal fixed income or slightly more towards fixed income depending on your individual circumstances, but a bucket of investment strategy which focuses on wealth creation is a must. Or if you are at the fag end of your career and staring at retirement within a few years, then a big chunk of your money should go into the fixed income. Nevertheless, capital appreciation, some component of money has to be invested in capital appreciation strategy. The third questions people often ask me is, which product shall I use for retirement planning? Again, there are no easy answers. It is again very, very situational, calls for careful scrutiny of who is doing the retirement planning, what is the stage of life you are in, what is your surpluses that you are having, what is the time that you are having, what is that you are trying to aim, immediate cash flow or a deferred cash flow after 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, the time which is available. Based on that, the decisions have to be taken. There are definitely no easy answers. Some of the products that you can definitely use is the mutual funds. You can use the stock portfolio, you can use NPS, you can use unit linked insurance plan, you can use guaranteed return insurance plans, you can invest in real estate, commercial real estate. Many possibilities are there. So there are no distinct answers to say this is one product we can zero in on that. That's not possible. Few points to keep in mind. If you are using the fixed income solutions, thinking that I am a very conservative investor, if you are a youngster and you get into a fixed income solution very early in life, you run the risk of erosion of purchase power of that fixed income. If you are an youngster, the focus that you should make is creating the wealth. You don't need this money and the retirement is far, far away. You should make best use of the time that is available to you. If you are in the middle of your career, then you should use a blended strategy. You should have a product which can build wealth. Also, you should focus on a product which can give you sustained cash flow during your retirement years. Retirement is just not about having enough money. There are more things to it. You may not be the fit and fine person during your retirement years. Your memory is likely to fade. You can become a victim of dementia, Alzheimer's, anything could be. You could be crippled. And one of the things that I've seen in retirement planning is people are fit and fine till 60 years of age. Their comfort level comes from not the assets that they are owning, whether it's an FD, land, mutual fund, anything. The comfort is coming from the salary that they are getting in their bank account at the end of the month. And they retire and suddenly they start feeling fish out of water. They are sitting on a lot of assets, but there is no cash flow. So this mental picture has to be worked on. You should derive a comfort of getting some cash at the end of the month in lieu of the salaries that you are getting during your work phase. That requires again a careful consideration of which one to recommend. It's easier to recommend wealth creating plans, but if it is a fixed income, there is no clear answer. It changes from time to time. It changes from taxation landscape. It changes from the interest scenario which is unfolding in the economy. All these has to be kept in mind. There's no single answer if it's a fixed income strategy that I can recommend at this point of time. One thing which is very clear is if you can develop a good rental income, either with a residential real estate or a commercial real estate or a fractional commercial real estate, that can be a good source of cash flow during your retirement years. Guaranteed return insurance plan offers excellent, but you should be again careful to scrutinize your life, whether you fit into that correctly or not, what is your entry point, and how you are designing the cash flow. All these things will call for intervention by professionals to carefully assess your life. One thing I can say for sure, whichever the product you choose, it should be tax efficient. If the product that you choose brings down your tax commitments during your retirement days, that improves your cash flow, that improves your return. So you get 10% return, end up paying 30% taxes, that what you're getting is 7%. But if you are getting an 8% in a fixed income instrument and you don't need to pay any taxes, that is more tax efficient. Likewise, if there is a product which will not make you pay any taxes during your retirement, let's say I have an option to build my retirement corpus using mutual funds, I have an option to build my retirement corpus using the unit linked insurance plans. In unit linked insurance plans up to 2.5 lakh you get it tax free. So you should make best use of all opportunities to save on the taxes. That's one of the easiest ways to better your returns. That factor has to be kept in mind. No easy answers. It requires professional consideration. If you know, if you research, you can do that depending on your individual circumstances, or seek professional help. If you don't have one and you need assistance from professionals, you can make best use of our services as well. Our number is shown here on the screen. Send us a WhatsApp message or just go to the description box where I have provided a link there. Click on the link, it will take you to the WhatsApp. Send us that message and our team of experts are ready to help you to design the best retirement strategy depending on your individual circumstance. Question number 4, people have asked me, how can I reduce my tax incidence during my retired life? The answer to this has been spoken in my earlier questions also. I'll just add it here. You cannot plan for it when you retire. The planning should start when you are building your retirement corpus. The products that you choose, look at what tax efficiency it gives you. That is where the tax planning should start. Not I will retire today and then I will bring efficiency into it. Yes, you can still do it. It's possible. It's not impossible. Instead of keeping all the money in the bank and interest being coming under the tax bracket, you can keep it in the mutual fund. So those strategies can be adopted. But if you carefully select the products at the time of building your retirement wealth, then it's possible. I have told the tax limits which are available for you under NPS. 60% of the money can be taken out in the form of tax-free withdrawals. But what will you do after that? Where will you put this money? That question remains. So people will say NPS is the ultimate. No, it's not. NPS is a very good instrument. It builds well. The beauty of NPS is it's an illiquid instrument. That's the real beauty. Once you put money in an NPS account, under no circumstance it will allow you to touch that money. Otherwise, the human tendency is that they start in all the earnest and the next opportunity they'll dip into it and they'll empty that coffers. But you put your money in NPS, the real benefit of NPS is it's an illiquid pot. And you take that out only at 60 or between 60 and 70 years. That's the real beauty of NPS. Your mutual funds are very efficient, but you have to pay taxes to the extent of 10% if it is an equity fund. If you invest your money in unit linked insurance plan, up to 2.5 lakh per person per year is exempted for 100% tax free status. So the maximum capping is done at 2.5 lakh. If you are using ULIPs, you have to be very, very careful. They are good plans to invest, but come with caveats. I'll tell you the caveats which you have to go with when you are using the unit linked insurance plan. If you are a youngster, you can go with the ULIPs. If you are above 45 years, don't go with the ULIPs for retirement planning unless the life assured is a younger member of the family. Then ULIPs will not work for small amounts of money. If you are a person who wants to put money in a ULIP plan and you contribute 50,000, just stay away from ULIPs. It will not work for you. ULIPs work better with higher contribution because the structure is designed in such a way it will reward the investor with a higher contribution. ULIPs are not plans which are meant to give you insurance cover. This is the mistake people make. The ULIP plans are primarily the investment plans. There is a tinge of insurance on that. So don't be under the impression ULIPs will give me only 10 times the insurance cover. If you want a large insurance, the type of insurance you have to choose is a term insurance, not a ULIP insurance. But you can make best use of the tax arbitrage in a ULIP plan. The third caveat in case of ULIP plans is that you should use ULIPs only for long-term investment. Don't use an ULIP for 5 years, 10 years kind of a thing. They are very efficient plans if you are using it for retirement planning. You should be age less than 45, use younger member of the family as the life assured. It works for you. Don't put anything which is less than 2.5 lakh, which is a tax threshold. that's fine, and use it only for long term. There is no problem. It works wonderfully well. To derive tax efficiency, you can make use of guaranteed return insurance plans. So they have a lot of merit in them, and I had done detailed videos on that. If you are looking to create a stable income during your retired life, you can use these plans. Earlier, unlimited amount of money could have been put in these particular plans, but government realized that it's a tax loophole, and in the last budget, Nirmala Sitharaman said maximum I'll permit 5 lakh into it. But nevertheless, in a family, if husband can put 5 lakh on the plan and wife 5 lakh on the plan, then you can invest 10 lakhs in that plan for whatever the duration of time you want to put in that, and that will create tax-free cash flows for you. They also have an advantage that they do not have a reinvestment risk. They have an advantage that you don't have to pay all the money in one day. You invest today and your interest rate gets locked for rest of your life. So all of us know that in the future the interest rates are going to fall down. So you will be protected from falling interest rate. You don't have to pay taxes on that for your lifetime. The caveat is, if you are a youngster who is below 45 years of your age, don't use these plans for the sake of deriving cash flow during your retirement years. Why I am saying this? The answer is very simple. By the time you retire, the cash flow is fixed and it will start losing purchasing power. So don't use it to create retirement income from 60 to 90 years or the last day of your life if you are a youngster. It suits more for people who are above 45 years of age. If you are a youngster and you want to use these plans for deriving tax efficiency, you should use these plans to create a second income. Let's say you subscribe for these plans around 30 years of age and you want a second income between 45 to 60 years of age. There is nothing wrong in using these particular plans, because at that age you are earning a lot of money. You will be most likely at the highest tax bracket if everything goes well in your life, and the extra cash flow which will come from these plans will not suffer taxation. That's fine. So be careful when you are using, whether it's a ULIP plan or a guaranteed return insurance plan. Don't be very trigger happy. Analyze or take the professional help to zero in on these plans. Question number 5, people have asked me, I'm a retired person, should I still invest in the stock market? The answer is yes. Even if you are a retired person, you must invest, but the proportion of your exposure into the stock market should come down. You can create a compartment for stock market exposure, like an aggressive fund, 10%, 20% as separate component, or you can use in mutual funds. You have got different grades of mutual fund with equity exposures which are built into it. You can use something like an equity saving fund. You can use a conservative hybrid fund. You can use a balanced advantage fund. Even if you are a retiree, you must take exposure towards the stock market. Reason being, after retirement, you are not going to quit this world in a hurry. You will not leave this world in 5-10 years. Those are the things of the past. You are going to live longer. If you are living longer, it's a good news. If you are living longer, it's also a bad news, because you don't have an income. The fixed income what you have during your retirement will keep eroding its purchase price, and it has to be offset by investments in the stock market. Dear viewers, hope I have answered the questions raised by you to your satisfaction. If it did give you an answer, direction and clarity on the questions that you have raised, please do like this video. Do not forget to share these videos with your near and dear ones, friends and relatives, and all the WhatsApp groups on which you are connected. Thank you very much for watching this episode on NRI Money Clinic. I shall be back with you with yet another episode of Your Life, Your Money next Friday. Till then, stay safe.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.